Hello friends, thank you for logging in to my third tutorial about mid-square random number generation. So today, like I said in my previous tutorial, when I do this, I said that I'm gonna teach you about coding. We want to code under these and these buttons. So this most crucial thing that most of students and most of the people really fear about coding. And today, friends, I want to teach you this. So if you want to exit this application, the best thing that we have to do, then we will have to double click right there so that we can exit. And simply I'll say it's my application. I'll have to do that. When the user clicks on that, then I'll have to have application my application sorry, it is the application name is mid.close application. No, which language is this? So let's code for generation first of all, then I'll close later on. So right now, when you load this application, the thing is you'll find this code. You'll find this. When we load, then this is what we are finding when we load. But we have not coded for this, so nothing will happen. I cannot exit, I cannot generate. So, but let's do it very quickly. So when you want to code, we go under this button, then that's where we're going to code. And it's very good to put it into the try and catch block. It's very good. Any programming language, we have to use try and catch blocks so that we'll enjoy, not our programs would not be failing every now and then. So I want us to catch something we called an exception, exemption. In that, when I'm trying to do all that, then I'll be able to catch at the end of all that. And I'm catching exemption. It's an exemption, and I name it variable e. For doing all that, I want us to, if an error occurs, then we'll be able to produce a JOP option pane. Then show message. I want it to show us the kind of error that has produced. So we show message, show message dot the name of this class I said is mid. This called mid dot this. Then I want it to show me this message, but I don't want it just to say like that. I want it at least to associate it with a message that the user has put in. Like I'll say it did not complete, or let me say the application did not complete the calculations because then the system will be able to give me the type of the error that it encountered. right there. So I want to try doing all those things in that try and catch clause. Sorry, this is not supposed to be there. Sure. So everything I want to write it under this. So like any other programming language, Java is very close or strongly typed. We have to declare our variables. First of all, I want us to declare our variables. Declare variables. Variable number one, I say that we have to get a number. We want to get a number of the data type int, have z. I want to get also the z maximum that the user will be able to enter. I want us to get the value of z. Okay, these things you see them as I explain later. I am having z value. I have the z value squared, or let me say 2. I'm having z 0, 2, and all that. You have to enter the delimiter. And on the other hand, I have some strings, data type string, and value like z0. I also want to use count to 1. So want to use new seed. So all that. So after doing that, I want the user to I want us also first of all to get the values that we've entered in the text boxes, this and this. I want us to get this, the values that we entered this, and convert them respectively into integers. First of all, when you get them still in those text boxes, then it's still under the strings, but I want us to put them to convert into strings, and we want to name them the values that are, the variables. I put them there. Like for the case of the seed, I'll name it z0. This one for the case of the seed. And like in my first tutorial, when I said the value that we get, the first value that we input, that we get from, we are given the first value is called z0. That's why I've used z0. Actually, it's supposed to be z0. Yeah, z0, not z0. So my z0, that's integer. You have to know that is equals to, I want to get the value that I've entered in the text field, the txt seed dot. I have to get those values, and I must use the get text method, inbuilt method, that is to get the values. On the other side, I want to convert this, the value that the user will enter, the number of numbers generate. I also want to name it z max. That's why I said z max. My z max is equals to the value that the user will enter. And remember, z max is an integer, unlike z0 that is string. So we have to convert it into the integers. So z max, I have to use something called pass int. I have to pass int. And what am I passing in? The text. Okay, that's the value from the text random number dot get text. That's what I'm passing. So at there, I think we are getting. So I've declared my variables and I'm assigning them and assigning. Okay. I've declared them and I'm assigning some of them. So there we are safe to go. We are safe to go. Okay. Very fast. I want us to, after getting those values, then we want to do calculations. In that, when we run this thing like this, and the program prompts me to enter the number, and I enter like that 454, and also enter me that prompt me to enter the say 5. Then when I click generate, it's supposed to calculate all this, and it will say, oh my, I've seen, I have Z0, I have the numbers that I have to generate. Then the system will do it automatically to produce from Z0 to Z5. Okay, let's continue coding. It's very simple. You look around, concentrate, and you'll enjoy having this. So first of all, what I have to do all about that, I want to convert. I said in my first tutorial when I was doing that, I said that the first thing is to find our Z0. We have to find our U1, then our Z squared, Z0 squared, and that's why I said this is Z0 squared. So we want to deal with our Z0 squared to convert it into strings, because right here we've gotten it still into integers. So I want to convert my Z0 into strings. I say converting Z0 actually suppose Z0 squared into strings, because the next step we have to deal with it when it's still in string, is still having a string as a data type. So Z, I'll use the capital Z 02, meaning Z0 squared is equals to the integer, that is, it's the integer dot pass int. I'll take that integer pass int the Z1 means Z0. Remember, it's the Z0, the Z0 squared is the value of this Z0 squared. So but still in strings, so I want to convert it all into integers. So, and I multiply this by 2. I square it. So squaring it, I'll repeat what I did in the other one by doing all this, saying integer dot. So when I'm saying all this is just like the other one, pass int the Z0. So I've converted it. I have my Z0, I have my Z0 squared. Okay, there I go. Then after performing square, I convert it into 8 digits. You remember that there's one of the steps, the next step in my first tutorial, I said after squaring Z0, then I make sure that it's in 8 digits. So I say after converting, I put it into 8 digits. So if it's 8 digits, it will remain to be 8 digits. Then if it's less than 8 digits, then we'll have to append zeros from the left. So this is the method. This is how we do it. This is how I used it, and this is how I did that thing, and it's happening. It's doing it very well. You remember somewhere I named something like count to 1. This is the value I wanted to hold to convert this the Z0 squared into 8 digits. So what I do right here, I use that count. I want to initialize that count 02. This is what I use, the string dot format. Then what am I formatting? I want to format into 8 digits. 8 digits. Then I'll have to use, first of all, I want to use percentage sign is percentage. Then into how many digits? 8 digits. Then I must say it's 8 digits. then which value am I working on? I'm working on z0 squared. As simple like that. So there we go. So any value, this value, the system will check on this, but since the formula says that we have to change it into 8 digits, then the system, like here, whatever, like maybe we're assuming here we get the values like 999. We count this 1 2 3 4 5 6. If the system reaches on this command, it will append on this side, it will add 2 zeros to add it to be 8 altogether. So I hope you are getting it correct. This is the most crucial thing that you have to know. Okay, there we go. So with working with this, I have to pick. The next step said that I have to pick the 4 middle digits. So I say pick 4 middle digits. So how do we do this? Remember, I'm working on the counter 1, the variable called counter 1 right now. So but the 4 digits that I get, I want to put them into the new seed, because that will be our Z1. Get me right. Get me right. The new seed is the value that I want to store here. The new seed. New seed are the 4 digits, the 4 middle digits that are found in count 1. So I want to get those 4 digits. This is how I do it. New seed, I want to store it into the new seed, that is equal to counter 1. I said we are working on counter 1 dot substring. Substring, I'm working on this substring. I want to get, because an 8 digits, let me explain a little bit before. 8 digits, like we have 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8. From the left we have to skip 2, and from the right, okay, the 4 digits is 1 2 3 4 right there. So what I'm doing right here, I'm taking the position. When I'm using substring, then I'll pick the position. I'll skip 2 positions, skipping 2 positions to second position. So the value the system will pick from position 2 to position 6. There I am. Hope you understood that one. To position 6, and it will pick the 4 middle numbers in Z1, in Z0 squared. So after doing that, I hope now we are ready to go. If I decide to tell the system to print out, okay, let's try and do it, to print out Z1. I'm telling the system to print out Z1. So the system, I want the system to print Z1. Option J option pen, then show message. Tell you this is very difficult, so mid square do this. I want it to print this. Excuse me. I want it to print excuse me, to print our Z1. So I'll say Z1 is, remember it's now we have a new seed, so Z1 is new seed. There we are, and we try to run our program and see how it's going to tell us. Yeah, run our program. So pay attention and get it. So this is how we're going to do. If I decide to enter this as my seed, and I enter, I think it will not work with that one. Still, let me see if generate. You see, you've gotten Z1 as 9 default.9. Let me change and see. Yeah, it's changing, getting Z1. But the thing is, right now, it's not working with it's not working with this. So the system will, I want to work in a way that the system will work, that when I put in the number right here in this text box, then it will generate all the random numbers up to the value that I've entered in the system in this text box. Okay, let's proceed. Now that's where the problem is with most students. That's where they fail to get that. They fail to get it right. Okay, most programmers get it very difficult because what happens is about the loop. When you are looking at the variables, I did something like z max, and I've not used z max, z value, all this, but we are going to use the main way, don't worry. So that's where we want to use our loop. I say introduce loop, introduce follow. So right here I want us to say that for our integer called z is equals to 1, because it's starting from value 1, then it's going all is below or is less or equals to z max. And z max, remember I said z max is this value that we have entered into this random number. So long as it's still below that or it's equals to that, I want that program to increment one by one. It will increment z and it will do all calculation. Okay, I say for, let me speak, I say z is equals to 1, z is less or equals to z max. I want us to increment z. There we go. And all the codes that I want us to generate, I want it to be right there. So I want us to get the value of z, that's from z1 to z max. If we put max in the text box like 5, then we get z1, z2, z3, z4 up to z5. So this is how we're going to do it. Remember, I don't know if we use z, no, we don't use z value. Z value, this is the thing. Z value is equals to the integer. I want to change the value that I've found, the new seed. I want us to change it into strings, so that I'll change it into integer. Right now it's still a string right here, but I want to change it into an integer. So I'll say integer dot pass. My spelling for integer is wrong. Is wrong. Dot pass int. I want us to change the new seed. Right there we are. So right now this and this are the same, but this is the string and this is the integer. So we will work with it when it's in integer form, and we'll be playing around by there, changing from integer to string and string to all that, from double, all that. We'll be changing them. So we said somewhere that our u1 will be the 0. We'll put 0 at the beginning of our z1 to get u1. So my u1, what I do, I get my u1, and u1, this is how I get u1. Get u1. my u1 didn't have, I've declared something, I've named something called string, letter integer string is called deck. That integer is called deck, and we say that we put 0. If you remember very well, put 0. Where do we put it? We concatenate it with the the value, the new seed, that is our z value, but still we work with it when it's in strings. The new seed I want to concatenate it with I have concatenated with new seed, but we have to use substring. And where am I going to do all that? I want to put it 0 in that I'll cut up to the 0th level. That's where I'm going to get all that. Okay, that's where the problem is. Yeah. So after getting all that, remember now we are inside the for loop. We forget what we did the first right here, but it's more like the same, but we are inside the for loop. So the system will first of all get z1, then to get into the loop and loop until the condition is true. I again want to do calculations to get z value 2. The other one was for z0 squared, which helps us to get z1, but right here I want us to get z0, means z value 2. So get z02. That's the same like getting the square of z value. So we put, I say that we shall put it into z value 2. We shall put it into that value and say is the value of z value times, yes, we are squaring it, z value, another z value. There we go. Then again, we'll not forget to change it into 8 digits. 8 digits. Previously, I think I showed something like that. So still, I repeat, I'm using my count 1. Count 1, putting it to be a string, and it's a string format. Say that I'll format it into 8 digits. So I'm putting my 8 digits. Say percentage 08 digits. Then what am I putting here? I say here I'm putting something called value 2. We are concatenating by this time round. We are concatenating z value 2. That's what we are formatting on. So by doing that, I again want to pick the 4 middle values, and I say pick 4 middle digits. There we are. I still say new seed is equals to count 1, just like repetition, the other one, the substring substring. I want us to get the value of second and the sixth position in all that. Okay, there we go. So I want us to print on the screen, but I don't know what we are going to print. I said that when somebody runs that program, we want to print right here the last value and to bring them concurrently in the message boxes. Now right here it cannot load because of the try and catch block, because we've not printed on the screen. So it cannot do anything because of catch and try and catch. So I want us to print. So we say j option pen sorry dot mid. We show the message. Show the message. Say mid. Dot this. I want to use what? I want to get those messages and to put them down. So those messages, that's what I want to print on the screen, and I'll start by saying the value it's like this most. I don't know what happened with it. The value of Z. Now I want it to get from Z1 to Z2 to Z3, but not just say Z. I want it to use, that's where I wanted to use the Z from the follow. So to say Z1, Z2, Z3, Z4, all that. All of Z1, Z2, Z3, Z4 is equals to, so equals to, so the value of Z1, Z2, Z3 is equals to, let me say is equals to that's when we put in that value from Z value, then we add another string, but we move to another line. We escape key, but still under that we put another value of Z, I mean U. But which U are we using? I'm saying U1, U2, U3, U4, all that. That's the essence of Z. Sorry. Then after putting the value of U1, U2, U3, we want to say what it is. So we must say is equals to that's when we come in with our deck, whatever. Remember deck, when we named our deck to be I remember I did something deck somewhere. Where is it? Where you deck? Where you deck? Where you deck? Where is deck? Remember doing something deck here. Okay, no, we'll see it later on. So there we go, we're almost through. So I put my deck right there and I add another string, but I have to escape the sequence. So again I say the value, now this is the Z, the value of Z squared, value of Z what add Z, but we have to square it, squared is equals to, that's when I put our Z value to, then we add, again we escape the sequence excuse me, after escaping the sequence we close and we put in something else, not the title of that message. I call it random number. Title is error. Random number Z1, random number 2, all that. There is a message. Excuse me. Okay, there we are. Let me see where the error is anyway. Error must be somewhere. Let me try and see this. It's an error somewhere. Okay, I guess here. Yeah. Now there we are free to go. We are free to go. Excuse me. But the same, I want to get the same into the text message, the text area. Just the same text message. After doing all that, then my text area dot set value set string, that is which kind of strings I want to set. I want to set all this. There we are. Yeah, there we go. So after doing all that, I think we are free to go. That's when we try and do all that. Try to see if our program will run very well, but I'm suspecting if this one is an error. Trying to see, but yeah, let me try and run it. No, the errors. Let me go away with this first of all. See if I get some. If I say today to put here for 3 like that, and I say I want us to get to the second, to tell me the first, I've gotten it. To tell me random number 1, the value of Z1 is 47, then the value of U1 is that, value of Z1 is that. They tell me Z2 is this, ZU2 is that, and all that. Then it ends. So very simple as that. So what we do, I guess, let me find where the error is on this, because this is Z1, Z2, this is Z2, Z2. Okay, I know why. Now get why. Oh my, problem with programmers here sometimes. Yeah. Now the program will be able to put into our text box the values. So if I say that's the value and I wanted to get into the 5th, program will be able to get all that. Z1, Z2, Z3. The program able to change it to show me Z2, all that. All that, the way it's changing. So I really appreciate anyway. So my program is working very well. So already a software on its own. You put in the numbers you want to generate, and it will be able to generate for you. And you'll really like the program. If you say like you want to get up to 10th value, like that, then it will go first 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 up to 10. Then it will end from there. But otherwise, I really appreciate. Okay, I forgot. Let's code for this. Sorry. I want us to do some coding on that so that we will enjoy to end our program. So probably if we just decide that today we want to log off or to get out of that program, what do we do then? Somebody asked me that if I want to end that program, what will I do? I told that person, just wait and see. Wait and you'll see I want to code for you. So today I'll say like I told that person that just wait and I'll code all that for you. So it's a matter of just ending and exiting and doing all that. But today you're in the hands of the programmer, don't worry. You'll have to code for that, and it's a very simple thing. You just have to finish, and will the software be already in the market, you can go and download. By the way, before I code, I had forgotten about this. The source code, don't worry about source code is already, I'll post it on my website jobbuilder.com, just go and download, just go and copy paste, change the class name, do all that, and I assure you, you will enjoy working with it. So move ahead to www.jobwire.kbo.co.ke and you will enjoy working on that. So I told you about I'll code on this. So I'll just code under this. Simple. We just say the system and just to declare it as int. Need to say system, just say system dot exit, and I want us to exit on close. So that we will exit that. So let's give it a try. We run the project and we click it exits. There we are. I run the project. I say I want it to give me the first random numbers, 5 random numbers. The system will be able to see all that, and when I decide to exit, it exits. So I appreciate very much. Thank you for watching the tutorial. I hope you've enjoyed this tutorial very much. If you have any question, just go on jobwire.kbo.co.ke and post some questions over there, and I'll be very glad to get back on you. Thank you very much, and see you in the next tutorial.